We're done with the combine, and we have moved on to pro day season. Pro day season is like the combine, but it makes even less sense. This week we had Cam Ward had a great pro day. Guess who he was throwing against? Nobody. Just nobody was out there. And then Ashton Genty had his pro day, and Dusty said, we have to put Ashton Genty's pro day. He looked dominant. I said, oh my goodness, what was he doing? Running against garbage cans and running over a little foam speed bumps. Had no shirt on, did look cool, but there is something strange and disconnected to how we're measuring NFL potential, really all sports potential, and how the real world works. I've decided to make myself the NFL version of Jonah Hill in Moneyball. And I transcribed what Jonah Hill told Brad Pitt in the parking garage, actually. Here's what he said.
There is an epidemic failure within the game to understand what is really happening. And this leads people who run Major League Baseball teams,
at this point, sports or the NFL,
to misjudge their players and mismanage their teams.
So I said, And here's why. LSU's Will Campbell. He's got little arms. His arms are less than 33 inches. They're 32 inches and 5/8. And everybody says, his arms don't work. So what happened at Will Campbell's pro day? Well, what do you know? His arms became 33 inches long. That is called Goodhart principle, where you get what you measure. And I have a certain experience with this. Much like Will Campbell's measurements, I've dealt with Goodhart's law of getting what you measure. I'm a parent, as you know. Part of being a parent is teaching your sons general cleanliness. It's not too difficult to do. Wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. So my little son viewed washing his hands as an interruption to his day. So we'd have to test him on it. I'd say, Billy, did you wash your hands? And he would say yes. I'd say, let me feel your hands. Are they wet? He would look down, because he certainly didn't dry them. Realize that he was caught, and then go back and wash his hands. Next time it comes around, Billy, your hand, oh, my hands are wet, boom. And we're like, good, go play. Till one day, we're watching TV, and the bathroom is right near the television. Billy goes into the bathroom, comes out. I don't hear the sink. I say, Billy, go in and wash your hands. He says, I did. Look, his hands soaking wet. I said, Bill, I didn't hear the sink go. I get up, I check the sink, bone dry. I said, Billy, have you been putting your hands in the toilet? What do you think? The problem is, I wasn't testing for hand cleanliness. I was just testing for wetness. That's it. So what is happening with Will Campbell? Are teams testing for how good he's going to be on the offensive line? Or are they just testing arm length? He looked at it and said, well, if you're testing arm length, I have good news for you. All of a sudden, my arm is longer. LSU, there we go. Now my arm length is 33. But in the real world, if you want to test how good Will Campbell is, well, he had 1,600 some odd snaps. He only gave up a handful of sacks. He went 27 games in the SEC without a sack. So moral of the story is this, and I understand what the pushback will be. Kevin, that's not how it works. Bigger, faster, stronger. That's what actually works. That's how it is everywhere. Yeah, that's true for you. That's not how it works at the highest of high levels. I think the challenge is, and Will Campbell mentions this about people who don't coach, a lot of the people surrounding these tests have personal experience of being in sports and then being out of sports because someone was bigger, faster, stronger. For me, Westside Middle School, 13 years old. I think it was a scrimmage. I wasn't good at baseball to begin with, but I'm up there. I'm 13. I've got Osgood Schlatters in my knee. I can't really even run, and I'm very fast. But, Calvin McCoy throws me a fastball directly at my head. I obviously duck out of the way. Not a fastball, was a curveball, and it was a strike, and I was out. And at that moment, I realized, looks like baseball is done. If balls that are coming at my head are now strikes, I'm out. I'm done. Just side note, I did get a hit off of Calvin McCoy. Could I hit a fastball? No, but I moved all the way up in the box. That's a true story. I had a single to center field, and then I may have gotten picked off first base. I was so excited, but I'm not totally sure. But at the upper levels, and I talked to Greg Jennings about this, I was just talking about, hey, if you were faster or you could make faster decisions, what would be better? It's just like faster decisions. Tom Brady with Colin. Hey, what's his superpower? Oh, my superpower was analyzing things. Recent PFF article about Cam Ward comparing to Patrick Mahomes. Not necessarily arm strength, not speed, not escapability. Processing. What can he see? What can he identify quickly? Can you scan the whole field? Can you make quick decisions? Can you make good decisions? When you watch a game, how much of it is, ooh, this person's bigger, faster, stronger, and how much of it is, wow, what a great decision. Wow, identified something. That was a great decision. The best highlight of all time, Ed Reed picking off Peyton Manning. That's not, oh, Ed Reed is so fast. He was fast. But what was it? Oh, what a brilliant decision. Bill Belichick, what best play of all time. Brilliant decision making. How can you get in there and judge that at the combine? There's no real plan for it yet. Oh, what about hitting some blinking lights? I don't think hitting blinking lights worked. I just don't buy. What about that Nerf thing and people grab it? That's huge. Call me crazy. I don't think that works either. You know what I think works? Playing offensive line for LSU and not giving up a sack in 27 games. I think it's a sign of good decision making and effectiveness at the next level. I'm out on tests.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.